Hello, everyone. Um, Cado died, and so I'm gonna be solo piloting this stream. Ignore what I'm doing. Ignore what I'm doing. Ignore what I'm doing. Listen, we're flying by our ass this recording. We're kind of just jumping in here. We're having a little party in this house. In this house of gamers, we're just having a party, gamers. We're just having a part. We're just having general change, local desktop capture, parsec, Windows graphic. Okay, we're just having a lark, gamers. We're having a lark. Hi, Cado. We're just having a lark, gamers. Hi, Cado. We're live. Yes, you stepped. Yes, I said that we had about 8 minutes, and both of us stepped away, and I got back with 30 seconds, and you got back with less. Oh, Cado's muted. One sec. Let me turn on Cado. You're muted. They're unmuted. Hi, gamers. I've got Cado back. Sorry. Listen, we kind of...
Coffee? Mondays? Mondays, am I right?
I'm sick. Let's get this out of the way immediately. I have a cold, and I woke up at 9... What time, Cado? 9:41 a.m. is when I woke up.
Yeah.
Because I'm ill. Let me adjust my chair. Fuck. Ugh, there we go. Do. All right. Wait, can you make game sound happen to me?
Game sound is happening to you.
It
should be.
I regret to inform you that game sound is not happening to me.
Did you mute it?
No.
Muted?
Nope.
The parsecs?
How dare you talk about sex to me? And the answer to your question is no, I didn't.
Let's see.
I have this coffee that I ordered because they didn't. This is a rose coffee, which I'm very excited by.
Do you hear this?
No.
Yeah, your parsec's muted. Check your volume mixer.
I am looking in my volume mixer, and I can see that parsec is not muted.
In your
yes
system level?
Yes, I am actively looking at it.
Then yeah, it's I don't know. I'll disconnect and reconnect, I guess.
Yeah, sound is on in parsec.
Try connect, or let me restart parsec even. Boop 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 boop. Because it's all right. Okay, try it.
Okay, I'm going.
Plug in.
I'm warging, Cado.
Warg.
Warg me up, gamer.
You hear this?
No. Wait, are you adjusting your Astro Mixamp Pro game and not your...
This is what
virtual
parsec
cable
is sending.
Yeah, I don't hear it, Cado. I can hear you, and I can show you that my parsec is not muted.
Weird.
Try it again.
You know how this makes a noise when you click on it?
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah, it's not making that noise.
No.
It should be. I'll swap over to things then. Let me see. Audio. Don't capture that. Capture this. How about this? I probably have to restart parsec again to get it to work though.
Probably, yeah.
How about that? Nothing?
Yeah, let's swap it.
Okay.
Gamers, listen, some people don't use their desktops. I'm one of them. Using your desktop is for cowards. Just use the fucking search bar.
Now look at my desktop. This is where all the trash goes. Look at this gif of a boo. Oh wait, they can't see it.
They can't see it
They can't see it
until I war again.
I want to show them.
So I'm gonna
hold on.
stir up my coffee drink. The
Coffee
rose
drink.
latte. Rose syrup is probably the next syrup I'm gonna make. I can't decide between
nice.
rose and lavender.
Oh, I just did a whole ass lavender.
Yes.
That month was great when I had lavender syrup. Okay, Worgen.
I'm Worgen, Cado.
You hear this?
Yes, I do. I can hear so
Great.
clearly. My ears are shuddering at those crisp sounds.
Bizarre. Okay.
I agree that the things I say are bizarre. All right. Chat, am I a good volume?
This boo was just sitting on my desktop.
I don't like how wet he moves.
How wet?
He moves wet.
He
moves wet.
Wet.
Am I wrong?
Wet boo. That is
Right.
a wet boo.
Click on the game.
This boo is wet.
Okay, Cado, I regret to inform you one thing.
Hmm.
Since you switched over your audio settings, the game is still talking to the wrong thing.
Let's see.
There we go.
What about now? Okay.
Ooh, can we turn down game sound a little bit?
Sure. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's
Like
much
good?
better. Yeah, and I will reduce it on mine a little bit.
Not that one.
There we go. Crisp and clear. Yes. I also just did my Pluto playthrough to keep the gamers up to date with kind of our happenings in this video game. Cado, what is your at-home playthrough?
Pluto.
Pluto?
It's not that one. It's a different one. I bought the game on a different platform.
Did you buy it on iOS?
No, I got it
Steam?
on Steam so I could have cloud saves because I was playing on a laptop that wasn't my home computer.
Right. Sorry about all the bag sounds. I was getting my breakfast burrito at least out of the bag. Now it's gonna just sit on my desk.
Smell the breakfast burritos make.
It's so good. It's so good. I love this. I love that there's, you know what? Quick shout out. Hey, for anybody who lives in Bushwick, quick shout out to Cup of Brooklyn. It is a solid coffee shop. Their syrups are really stellar. You can buy oat milk there. That's what I do.
Cuppa?
It's also where I buy my coffee.
Cuppa?
Cup of. Not
Cup
cuppa.
of.
Yeah,
Cuppa.
I just say
Well,
Cup
it
of
could
Brooklyn.
be
Because
Cuppa.
like,
Hello.
hey, I'm
Hello,
walking
Governor.
here. Can I get a cup of Brooklyn?
Precisely.
I need to find the thing that okay, so one of the things that I have yet to do since like figuring my voice stuff out, which was years ago, is like finding girl variants of some of the stupid voices I do. And that's going to be my next like big vocal task, is finding like a, hey, I'm walking here. You know? I gotta find a femme Brooklyn lady. Brooklyn lady!
Oh, pretty lady.
We have fun here at Waypoint.zone. I'm gonna get the Parsec logo off the
Making
screen.
voices. I guess let's start with comms. Did we do this one already?
No, we did not.
Okay. Oh, this is me. Don't make it sound like I hate following command any less than you.
Don't worry. I would never doubt that. Hey, Mercury. Why are you still with Celestial Mechanics?
Why are you? If you still are, that is. You're the one who can choose.
Mercury.
Oh, don't. If you hadn't hijacked String of Pearls, you'd be here like me, waiting. To see if it's true that we can be what comes after being human. I don't want that for you. I certainly don't trust or believe in celestial mechanics or
Iapetus.
Iapetus. But wasn't that the worst part? Even after he decided we weren't good enough to be the chosen pilots, neither of us left. He knew we wouldn't leave because we already wanted it too much.
Do you still want that more than anything else?
I don't know. I don't know what I don't want. I know what I don't want, and it is to have nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show for what?
Coming to space, going to the academy, never having a chance to fight in the Cold War, not having a say either way, falling stupidly for the worst man alive. I'm counting on you, Saturn, to give me something better than just the same Earth we left.
You never have to worry about that. I have only the highest ambitions for us.
Those girls you're flirting with better have a decent future for us, is all I'm saying.
Sure, fine, okay. Only if it's a really good one. If nothing else, I'll make sure that he doesn't get the future he wanted.
Any future but the future he wants is good. Give me and Ganymede a good place. There, wherever and whenever it is.
No.
No.
I have put together key details from this narrative from my other playthroughs that I don't think are spoilers. They're just like putting things in context. Regards to like what people actually want. Iapetus basically wants what the celestial mechanics want is to build something outside of humanity.
Right.
What Iapetus wants specifically is for that thing outside of humanity to become the new existential threat. So he is trying to make Saturn or whoever is piloting the string of pearls into the new existential threat, so Earth has something to war against.
Right.
So like he wants something outside of bodies on paper, but in practice it is very different from what the other characters mean when talking about a world outside of bodies. He sucks. And he also is like another like detail I picked up on is that Iapetus is actively wants to return to Earth. So in this game's metaphor,
really?
where like queer people are, you know, emblematic of like going into space, Iapetus wants to return to Earth, which is quote unquote a real place. And so like all of this like weird X drama with Iapetus is like all the more complicated because like he doesn't want to be the thing that he is. He is horrified by it. So yeah, that is a key piece of context for why they're like, we want a future where we're not human, but not the specific future that Iapetus wants.
Right.
Because he fucking sucks shit and he's an abusive asshole in addition to having like bad ideological motives.
I like this email.
Title, Nick's resignation too.
Final 2. Actually last one. Is this okay?
Either one of us can take this.
Nix, you fundamentally misunderstood the purpose of pursuing the dream of space. I never sought to correct you. After all of the great things you have accomplished are the results of that misunderstanding. You believed that your dream, so universally loved, was loved because we wanted it to come true. This was not the case, of course, even though I think the Memorial Foundation truly believed that they wanted the same as you. But as the tides of Earth turn, they realize that in their own hearts that they are not the forefront of humanity's change, but slaves to its whims. To protect human culture means to always be at its beck and call, no matter what it becomes. And their dream is one of overwhelming power that will unlock the last mysteries and cement our authority forever. What your children achieved with freedom from gravity, we will have the power to determine on our own. I hope you can understand the depths of my gratitude to you for exploring these ideas, that they might one day belong to us. Iapetus.
Yes, so that's the other thing, is that Iapetus has this like thing he calls unified culture theory. And unified culture theory is basically the idea that if there is a true existential threat, humanity can unite against it, and through the power of capital C culture, can have control over material reality itself. So like we can extend our way of like culture shaping the material world, which the game already makes clear through ship cells. And it's like, what if Iapetus wants that to go even further, where the world is only what is human and can be defined literally by what is human, and what is human is absolute and known and easily controlled. He sucks. Do you want me to take this one?
Sure, yeah.
Of all the generations.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Who is this? Oh, okay.
It's a database link.
Europa.
Of all the Generation 3 pilots, Mercury is far and away the one best suited to actually be a pilot. To the degree I'd be terrified of giving that position to any other one of Iapetus's nightmare brats. So there's absolutely no chance that he'll be assigned, of course. He really is trying to maximize. What I want to impress, however, is that Mercury is still someone Iapetus chose personally for the pilot role, when he served himself during the Cold War. Alongside the current second-tier candidate Saturn, Mercury used to be a lot different, which is obvious. A lot of our pilots used to be a lot different, for reasons only space can explain. I think reducing it to Mercury's personal stake is as incomplete a reading as it would be for any of the other pilots in Celestial Mechanics. Some of them even know exactly what they're doing, Mercury most of all. I don't think he has petulant grudges against humanity. He's just very critical. Yeah. I also checked in other things I've figured out, which are not spoilers but are just useful pieces of context. Pluto and Luna Terra are both trans, explicitly in the text, and Saturn is up in the air. There's been no like confirmation or denial either way. Just also tossing that out here as a useful piece of information.
Yeah. What do you feel? What are you feeling?
I just played through Becoming Stars yesterday, from the other perspective. So what if we did Deeper Cuts? Because I haven't seen that one yet.
We're in the Garden District, closest to the malfunctioning and broken tidal reactor that kept the colony together. Time and space aren't quite right. It's the perfect place for a real fight. How deep under Luna Terra's skin do you think she can get? Woo! Ugh, this place.
Ugh, our girl and our boy. You don't feel like seeing home again? Aw, come on. Don't tell me you don't have any fond memories of the Academy.
I do, despite myself, and that's why I don't have any wish to see it like this. A ruined garden that only reminds us of how weak the gravity of this whole venture really was compared to Earth. Not to mention, it was all for something completely worthless, too.
Wait, now you're grumbling about a mission? This is historic.
The Lagrange reactor is just a hollow shell, and there's barely any advantage to have in getting it. This better be a trap to use you as bait to get Memorial Foundation off our trail.
Oh no, what a terrible trap to fall in.
More flirting, I see.
Is it unbearable?
Yes, extremely. Are you really still getting nowhere with her?
What are you talking about?
I think you said you were going to crack her open and peel her shell, but I don't think you have.
Ugh, you don't know anything. Shh.
Ah, I am completely and utterly correct then?
She's highly evasive. Point blank or sniper shot, I can't seem to hit her.
Your type, I see.
Shut up. I got the Academy's notorious heartbreaker to look like an idiot to me, so I win. So shut up. She's even stupider than I thought she was. But she's not as stupid as me.
Ugh. You're the one with your guts all over the place.
Oh, just, fine. I'm frustrated, alright? But it's not because I'm not getting anywhere or because I even care. Alright, this time I'm done playing. Happy? If there's anything there or if she's just metal all the way through, I'm going to find out. If she is that boring, I'll never forgive her. But I'm coming back with guts this time.
I love this.
The delivery
Fight for real.
of fight
Fight
for real
for
in a
real.
fun
Fun.
way is extremely fucking funny. I feel like we have to pick that one because it's just very funny syntax.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm gonna take another quick bite of burrito, and then I will read the intro. Oh no, I don't have to.
A surprise attack isn't very sporting.
Don't be jealous just because I got mine off first.
You got a wound on me in the Lagrange reactor shell. That's not a good enough deal?
No way. In fact, apologize. Hiding so I can't surprise you again is so unfair, Lunatera. Let me bully you some more.
I'll pass.
Are you sure?
You sure you don't want to get bullied? Let's see if you can find me first.
You like cat and mouse games, don't you? You want to try it again? I won't let you just play a game this time.
Can you find me even when I'm serious? Then I'll get serious.
Lunatera hides in the Garden Districts, the one part of the colony she has no memories. The Garden District doesn't have any trees or flowers or plants. It's not that kind of garden. A garden for the children meant to inherit space, not like Lunatera, who came in the first generation, teenagers too old and too molded by Earth's gravity to inherit the cosmos. The second generation was raised here in the light of the colony's center, the Lagrange tidal reactor Lunatera remembers like the sun, with the hope that they would grow freely in the lightest of gravity. Excuse me. Free of Earth's weight. Lunatera is the one holding the useless shell of that reactor now. Even broken and useless, LT doesn't feel comfortable holding it. It's an unpleasant, untrustworthy object, and it feels wrong to hold. It was made by people, but it doesn't seem like it was. It's a fake, but it's constant, but it's unsettlingly close to what celestial mechanics eventually intended it to be when they seized control of the reactor, before the conflict broke out. Something not made by humans. If it's so useless, why don't you just give it back?
You can tell what I'm thinking, huh? Or read between the lines? Just like Pluto, but different. Something I still can't understand. You've been playing with her too, haven't you?
I sure have. Jealous? Of which of us, though?
Both. I can never read the story like you both. I'm straightforward.
That's not even a little bit true. You're being way too stingy with the narration.
Narration?
You can't perceive space-time as a story? A narration spun out of the ambient gravity of humans? Telling you about everything that is, if you can listen. You can't see how obviously your envy is bleeding out and everywhere, can you?
I'm slipping, huh? Letting out more than I thought. But see why I'm jealous? I don't know anything about what you mean. I wish I could speak that language.
Yeah, it's amazing. You should really be sad if you don't speak it.
I just have this absence.
Your impression on the narrative something like spilled whiteout, gushing ocean of bleach, which is a pain in the ass for someone like us. You also have a habit of acting too fast to get caught up in story, especially when it's not going your way. 3 times faster than the story knows what to do with.
That's how you are different than Pluto. She would swell into the atmosphere, but you slowly bleed into the spaces between the lines. I can feel you seeping through, blurring the lines between one and the other. What is it you're after?
Curious? Then stop hiding. The rain-slick streets are looking more and more the same, and weather is malfunctioning, and the moisture regulator is shot, and the failing gravity is doing strange things, playing strange tricks. Mayor Chrysium's feet are wet. She's afraid. She's falling right into a trap that feels like it's in every direction at once.
You can't trick me.
Lunatera dodges at the last second or was never there. If Saturn bleeds into the narrative, then Lunatera's trick is having a real habit of interrupting the story just when it's getting good. Good thing she'll never know how much Saturn and Pluto think that's cool. I have eyes too, Lunatera. Don't think gravity alone is enough. Saturn swipes again. Lunatera wouldn't be hit by such a thing, but she isn't ready for the dripping, sparkling neurolightning. She misjudges the distance and unsureness of gravity. Mayor Chrysium sparks and bleeds from her left arm. Lunatera swings her spear, crushes the string of pearls to the ground. It crumples, then darts away, lost in the mist. Saturn's worse off, but her machine will fix itself, and the poison in Mayor Chrysium's systems is only getting worse. You almost got me, but not quite. Is your game off a little today, Lunatera? I thought you were going to be serious.
You're gonna have to do a lot better than that if you want to see me serious.
You're misunderstanding? I'm going to cheat. You're the one who has to take this seriously. How's that arm feeling? Still sparking? Still gooey? It doesn't take that much, you know. Have you been cleaning your system regularly?
What kind of fight are you looking for?
A one-sided fight where you try your hardest and still lose.
Looking for payback?
What? No, who cares about that? It's for you. Because you love getting owned. You're never holding back. There's no way I can beat you. You're even stronger than any story anyone's told about you. You always win and no one touches you. If ship self-fights were life and death, that'd make you a genius. But they're not. They're made in the image of plastic toys to fight like plastic toys, so that makes you an idiot for not playing along and being honest. You'll save a lot of time if you give in and say I'm right now.
If you beat me for real, that'll be all the answer you need.
Stoic to the last, but that's great. You holding out on me is actually kind of delicious. When the story's going to tell me what's happening, when are you going to let me hear about all the static in your joints, the trembling in your mask, your slackening grip? I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to know. Lunatera knows that it's true. Saturn can't sense where she is at all, but she knows immediately that Lunatera knows she knows. Tell me all about that, and I promise without any hate or fear, I'll listen. You don't believe me, but I promise I won't laugh or hurt you. I can't see you, so you can't escape if you want. I'll let you keep that little ball even, and the poison will wear off. But I want to see. Do you want to show me? The Mayor Chrysium crashes to the ground, skids along the wet streets of the colony, her legs give out, and her arms are too weak to catch her fall. A string of pearls lands gently, surprisingly, but that's what these ships were made to do. They're meant to land gently. Even the electrotoxins are tingly, not painful, in a warm, numbing sort of way, like licking a battery with every part of your body. There's no way that Lunatera can stand up. As soon as she lets it all in, she falls in a mess, totally defeated. Oh, wow. You really did it. You got so quiet. You're so well trained. You're the big, strong ace, but you shut down so quickly. You really can't deal with me at all. Why is that?
Didn't you say you weren't gonna bully me?
I'm showing all possible restraint. You really did make it hard.
Narrator voice. No, she wasn't.
I think she is. That's the problem with Saturn. Is this is her showing restraint. Listen, I've flirted with girls in a bar. Like you could listen. Sometimes you're showing all possible restraint and you still say some whack shit. You really acted like you knew what you were doing. Also, yeah, let me acknowledge something in chat. Someone just said that Saturn uses a triple Scarlet Rot build, and this motherfucker is why. This is why she's my bitch. Because you know what I've been using for all of Elden Ring? The fucking Scarlet Rot Dragon Breath. That is my shit. It is so fucking fun to just hit a boss and then outrun them for 10 minutes. Because here's the thing, I don't get hit. And that shit fucking owns. Ugh. I just realized that my Elden Ring build is actually very Saturn core because I have no fucking HP. I have no fucking HP.
Good.
I let myself get hit. I don't wear any
one shot
armor.
and you're done.
I get one hit and then I have to heal up or I die. And I just do that and I throw myself at a problem until it goes away. God, that's very Saturn core. That's my body. Even though you were so scared.
Leave me alone.
Oh no, baby. But you love this. You're looking forward to it. I can see right through you. These ships are meant to touch. If you never lose, you never let anyone in. Thinking of this as losing at all is actually kind of sad. You want to give this all up and drag me home? Are you really sure? Lunaterra, you really ought not to lie to me so much. This smug, untouchable Lunaterra that I used to hate, she's so boring. The you that you don't want anyone else to see, it's a much better you. That's the you I want to see. Lunaterra is conscious of her own breath, of the unconscious pulsing rhythm of her ship self, which trembles and not just from the electrotoxins. She really can't move in any sort of effective way. What she feels isn't fear or even helplessness. It's anticipation. If she thought that she trusted Saturn as much as anyone else, not at all. Now that she has no choice, she's surprised. She trusts Saturn so much, even knowing exactly what she wants to do. Saturn plucks the broken reactor out of Mayor Chrysium's hands and tosses it away like trash. And I will, now that I have the power to peel your skin off and see it. I'm really happy. I never thought I'd finally get to see you like this, even though you're letting me. Little secrets just for me, that the narration will never tell.
For you only.
So only I get to see you twitching and helpless? No one else knows?
Not telling, but it's just for you, so keep it ambiguous.
Got it. I could be straddling you and pinning you. That's certainly possible, but not for certain. I'm not saying anything definite.
You've got it. Thank you. I've got my pride.
Yeah? Your pride? Tell me about that.
It's worth a lot to me.
Then I'm worth even more, right? One of my favorite things about that whole sequence is like the ways in which narration functions in this game, and the way that like narration conveys meaning, because something that becomes very clear in your interactions with Pluto and your interactions with like Pluto and like Lunaterra, or like Pluto and you know all of her scenes make it very clear that narration in this game is like literally Pluto and Saturn have control over the game's narration.
Right.
quiet control over the game's narration, but control. That's why whenever Pluto takes control, it's very explicit because she is narrative defining. But when Saturn is taking control of the narrative, it slips in a way that is like so good. You can see the game's perspective shift just a little bit towards her. You can see
Yeah.
lines as she like literally creates meaning through narration. Like when she is creating, like when Saturn is narrating, she is creating reality through the act of narration, which like is
Right.
so fucking neat as like a storytelling and like from like a like queer theory perspective, thinking about the power of testimony and the power of narrative is like so fucking interesting in this video game, especially when you're looking at Lunaterra, who doesn't have this ability because she was born on Earth. She was
Right.
born on Earth and raised there, and because of that, she doesn't actually have the ability to control or see the narrative like the others do. She only has the power to blank out the bits she doesn't want there. And like, that is fucking delicious to me. That is absolutely fucking delicious to me. I love it. I love video games. This is a good video game. I'm excited.
This is a particularly good one.
There's
of
a
those.
reason that I am writing a long ass essay about this video game for Waypoint 101. Is because it's fucking so good and neat. Do you want to hop into the mail?
Yeah, I almost wish we had enough time to go through the other ones on stream as well, because
Same.
the Pluto, like, I started the
Pluto's
Pluto
so
one. I was like,
good.
it's already so different. Even it's just like the first couple hours that I've played.
We're gonna have such a good conversation on the pod. I'm very excited. But yeah, will you take this one? This is
Yeah.
this is by Mercury, which means I have time to eat my burrito.
Great, eat your burrito.
These burritos.
Subject to something. Origin Ganymede intercepts. Do not read Saturn. I'm completely uninterested in communicating with Iapetus in any capacity that's not technically. I know my boundaries. But you are very nice to worry. I know you're not jealous because you do respect me, but don't make me worry. That's what I like about you. I know you're worried for me, not about me. You're worried for me, not about me, and I appreciate that. But I do want to clarify things so you stop asking me about it, even though it's cute and I do appreciate it. You say appreciate anymore, Mercury. Really, I'm not just saying that. Please don't hear that in a passive-aggressive voice. But I've been meaning to ask this for a while. Is it okay that I believe in this? It's important to me that you understand that it's nothing to do with him. So I worry that means you don't understand what it means for me. I don't believe humanity needs to be punished. I'm fine being human. But I think an important reminder is needed. Not alien in the sense of foreign that can bear all of our rage and hatred, but alien in the sense of casting our own features into relief. I think what we see as a result should shame us, but there are many things we need to see. You'll probably say you support me and believe in me. Thank you. But you'll also say that it means something to you too, and that's really why I love you.
They're so fucking cute. They're so
They're
fucking
very
cute.
Yeah. Ganymede and Mercury. Very good.
All right, will you take this other one?
Sure. Yeah, you can keep eating.
Thank you. I'm sorry
String
that
of
I woke
Pearls
up at
final
9:40
specifications. You're good. Iapetus message intercept, celestial mechanics, ship self-design. This is not. Is this Iapetus? I think this is Iapetus. This is not what we talked about. Not by a mile. You know, I don't actually have a moral compass that does not revolve around what's cool. So coming from me, just know that it's my professional opinion that I'm not even sure this is cool. That this is cool anymore. Creating a theoretical matter is not even hard under laboratory conditions, and in space it's so easy to sustain it. But the creation of exotic matter like electrotoxins can get really not fun if you aren't careful. Since you hate fun, I already know that it's not what you're after, and you don't have to level with me or anything. That's fine. But I do want you to know that this thing is basically designed to degenerate as quickly as possible. The reactor tends towards aversion. Aversion? I'm not actually sure what that means. And that will require a pilot I would not want to meet and a piloting style that no one should ever do. Eventually, it's going to drag the pilot down, and that's going to be really weird and ugly unless they're immediately destroyed. Clearly, you want that. I mean, you've said so. But if they're going to have so much fun, let me try to convince you that you should set a self-destruct in there. Maybe something cool will happen when she averts, and this shift self keeps her anchored in space-time to mess everything up. If it's not, don't you want a backup option? Maybe this bullshit will be cool, but...
This is, I believe, describing a string of pearls.
Right, yeah. Final specifications.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So-
Yes. They're talking
Yeah.
about putting a self-destruct in her ship because
In
they're
her
terrified
ship.
of what she'll become.
Mm-hmm.
Good video game.
Good video game. How's that burrito?
Oh, it's fucking excellent. Oh, it's so good. And I got this yummy rose coffee. Hell yeah.
What's in it?
The coffee or the burrito?
Burrito.
It is scrambled eggs, some, I believe, arugula is I believe
Arugula.
arugula. It is a black beans and cheddar. So it's black beans, cheddar, arugula, a little bit of like tomato, like a tomato salsa. So there's like some chunky
sounds great.
tomatoes in here, and like the outside of the burrito is like wrapped in cheddar. Does that make sense? So like,
Oh, damn.
So like the inside of
Yeah.
let me pull it up to the camera. The inside
One
of
of
like
those.
corner. Yeah, it's so good. I like how my camera died the second I showed the burrito to stream. That's actually very funny. It's so fucking yummy. Shout out to Cup of Brooklyn. They also have really good grilled cheese sandwiches. They have like a 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwich. It's like very, very excellent.
Ooh.
Listen, I'm a big fan of their whole shit. Like, shout out Cup of Brooklyn.
Okay. You ready for this one?
Please stop praying for my burrito. It's too strong. Alright,
It's only
good to go.
getting stronger. Saturn, I would love it, just love it,
Yeah.
if you messed everything up this time.
Is this reverse psychology? Did I really reduce you to that? I'm a little impressed by your persistence in nagging me, but now I'm feeling like I pushed you to your limit.
Shut up. As always, I am serious.
Messing things up is literally the only thing in the world no one has ever needed to specifically tell me to do. And you keep yelling at me when I do.
I've been looking into Iapetus's work on the Aversion project.
Oh. How much do you know?
More than you now. Of course, it was always suspicious that Iapetus decided to support us. He was very insistent in his interest in taking humanity to, quote, the next stage. As if that's why any of us wanted to connect with the so-called existential threat. People who already had everything on Earth couldn't possibly understand.
They just want even more for themselves.
That's what I thought too. Iapetus's plan is very attractive to certain factions in Memorial Foundation. Certain factions in Memorial Foundation really liked the days when humanity was united against the existential threat.
Except aliens aren't real. Okay, they're an nth dimension shadow cast by the gravitational impression of human culture in space-time, but that makes them a few shades sort of real and much less dangerous than their cousins on Earth. And even those are so weak, kids with radios can take them out. Anyways, Pluto wiped them out. Oh yeah,
Hey.
Nix, Dr. Nix, worked in the Scout program.
Oh, good.
She was a
Great.
counselor.
Hey.
Dr. Nix was
Hey
a camp
there.
counselor who, in one of her logs in Pluto's
Ayo.
game, goes, yeah, no, I was part of the Scout program, and then I wanted to give the kids something better. We made a camp for bad
Sick.
kids to do work that they didn't want to do. I want something more for them. I want a new home for all of the bad kids.
Hell
And
yeah.
like, that's sick as
That's
shit.
fucking
Do I
sick.
agree
That's
with Dr.
fucking
Nix? Do I agree with Dr. Nix? What she does overall? No. Do I think that's sick as fucking shit? Yes, I do, gamers. That was the whole plan. Since humanity doesn't care about them anymore, they'd never expect that we would find a way to avert our tidal reactors and become the aliens ourselves.
The only alien is what is alien. Wait. Yes. The only alien is what is alien to us, and that's fundamentally humanity. We're aliens to ourselves. Function of X equals that which is human that humans are not.
And?
Iapetus isn't going to give up everything he has for that.
You think he's lying about wanting to?
I think he's lying to himself wanting to. About himself wanting to. I think he's happy to let us complete the project and go home. Because he'll have exactly what he and the rest of humanity is longing for.
A scapegoat. Someone to be an alien humanity could guiltlessly fight against.
Yes. I'm fine with abandoning Earth. It hasn't given me anything.
But not on his terms.
Not ever.
Don't worry, Mercury. I've got a plan. No matter what, it won't go his way. Channel closed.
Oh, shit. Do you actually know? Is it a spoiler? Is it worth saying, or how many days are in here?
Oh, it's 9 days total. It is 8 days of narrative, and then the 9th day is whatever ending you end up with.
Gotcha.
It's not gonna take another.
We're getting there. We're what? That was 6. I forget. We're nearing. Wait. Okay. What does this say? Becoming stars. The Lagrange colony is an uninhabitable husk, but Kratos' Graces still clings to it, quite literally. Pluto's dream might collapse under its own weight, or crush Saturn under it. Let's go.
The whole colony?
Sorry. I should have asked if you were biting into your burrito.
It's fine. It's fine. I actually really like the idea of Saturn like actively fucking eating in her cockpit.
Yeah, just fucking
being
eating and then being like,
sorry, what?
It's so refreshing to see you surprised for once, Saturn. I'm soaking it in.
Mercury, but seriously? He wants me to stop Kratos' Graces from taking the entire colony out of the Lagrange point. Why? Why would they do that? Why would we care enough to stop them from trying? The colony should just rot. It's over. There's nothing left there.
Kratos' Graces wants those memories to live again. We need to discard Earth completely and start something new. It's an anchor pulling us back home. The success of opening the gravity well on the moon will depend completely on how much how much is holding us down. Even weak gravity like that.
That's more than just stopping her, then. You want me to destroy the colony.
That's the mission, yes.
Not that I'm not the greatest, but isn't that basically impossible for me? It's huge. There are smaller moons.
Do your best, then. The less memories, the better. I thought you didn't have any problems, that the colony should just rot.
That's a funny joke. Both went through the same shit. Don't ask me that. Every happy memory is made retroactively disgusting by the sort of person Iapetus turned out to be. I hate him so much. I will never get over how much.
Saturn.
Yes, Mercury?
Then why are you still pretending to be with celestial mechanics?
Why are you doing this is the real question, Mercury. You know him like I do, so why are you still here? I apparently have enough power to destroy a colony, and I can ditch him whenever I want. Leave celestial mechanics, take Ganymede. I'll protect you. I'll make sure there's a good future in the end.
You absolutely will not be fine if I leave. Of course I don't trust him at all, but he wants what I want. It's what you want too. I can't trust him on anything else, but I can trust him on that. Even if he's just doing this for his own gain, with some other agenda in mind, he's truly going to give us this. Ugh, disgusting. That's what I fell for, so stop reminding me. That's why I trust you too, of course, even though I shouldn't. I know you won't accept anything less than what you want. If you can get even half of that, it'll be more than enough for me.
I really want to battle. Well, here's the thing. I've seen battle and narrative space for each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it also what do you feel our Saturn is moving towards right now?
I feel like, I don't know, part of me leans the narrative space because of the conversation that they just had with Lunaterra, right? Like, they're in that space of, like, understanding the narrative space more, and maybe would lean towards that.
The note being that she knows that Pluto is stronger there.
Right. Well, but also, I don't know, she's kind of headstrong in a way where maybe she's like, well, let's see.
Yeah.
Is it like Pluto's stronger there in a way that's so all-encompassing that like Saturn wouldn't even dare try, or is it like Saturn's
that is the
how dumb Saturn is?
Right, that's the question of this game, right? Is that
Right.
like is Pluto? That's the thing about Pluto. Pluto is so overwhelmingly, brokenly overpowered in every single fucking way that like anyone who fights her on her terms, that being in narrative space, is going to lose. She has full command over the narrative in a way that not even Saturn does. Where Saturn can bleed into the narrative, Pluto runs it.
Right.
And so in that way, like, she knows that this is a losing fight, which is why it's so interesting to pick either option, because she's either choosing to fight on her own terms or something closer to her own terms for a dream she doesn't really believe in and for a plan that is going to ruin everything, versus fighting in narrative space and like actually connecting with Pluto.
Yeah. It's interesting too because of what Mercury just said, right? Like, well, what did she want at this point? Like, to follow through on that plan, or I don't know. It's hard. I think she's head ass, but not head ass to do that against Pluto. I feel like maybe, like,
she does like winning.
Yeah.
Saturn likes winning is the other thing. Like, for as much as she is a little brat and like people can like read her as like a bratty bottom or something, I actually think that's an unfair reading of who Saturn is and what she does. If I was gonna say what Saturn is, she's a service switch who likes doing it as a little brat.
Right. Sure.
But listen, she does it for other people. That's like one of my favorite like little things about her, is that she takes whatever role the other person wants her to be in a given moment, which is why she's so mean to Lunaterra.
That's more this to me too, but then like I do feel like those things can, I mean, obviously this is part of the interesting parts of these games, is where those things clash, right? Where like some sort of external force is going to make you change your mind versus, you know, your own internal like wants and needs winning out.
The other thing I love about this is that, like, having played through all of the routes, or at least 2 of them now, all of these girls want to lose. All of these girls want their vision to fail. And that's the most fascinating thing, is that, like, no one wants their faction to win. These are just 3 girls fighting for nothing and everything. It's so good. I love it.
Yeah. It does feel like the closest we get is Saturn and Mercury wanting something of what is happening here.
Yeah.
Just not the full, like, not Iapetus's plan, but like the first part of it to like actually change, like, to some form of transhumanism.
Right.
But this one's a hard choice. I don't know. I think I'm starting to lean loyal though.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's see the celestial mechanics ending, honestly.
Right. Sure. That's the other thing is like I don't know for sure how far the numbers have to be in order to get any of the endings.
Whichever's highest.
It's just highest.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can kind of like mess around in the middle and even it out a bit.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. One sec.
No worries.
Pluto hesitates because she's not ready for this kind of fight, and Saturn is. The colony shines like a star until you're right on it, and it looms impossibly large, a translucent sphere, a drop of water suspended in space. Glistening beneath the drop of water, past the clouds that form in its crumbling artificial atmosphere, to the strange haze that seeps from beneath the crumbling streets. It's possible to make out the fading light of the colony's collapsing systems. A massive jewel, like a clean slice taken out of the earth, and floated in space until its gravity formed it into the tiniest planet. Even a tiny world is still a world. Who can touch this? Move even an inch. Much less move the Earth by an inch. Pluto drifts slowly in orbit around the colony, waiting. Even you don't know what to do sometimes, huh? I'm kind of stumped too, if I'm being honest, but sorry. Destroying it sounds way easier when whatever they're trying to make you do. The string of pearls skates along the outer edges of the colony's ice and atmosphere. She's having fun. She's playing. For just a moment, Pluto wonders what she's doing here.
Oh no, Saturn. I'm happy to see you, but I was hoping that I might be able to convince you to help me take it away.
Oh, yeah? What made you think that?
For the same reason you thought you could convince me.
Because you like me? Because you don't care for your side that much either.
I care about all of us left here in space.
It's amazing that you actually, honestly do. That's not what I asked, huh? There's a lot of ways to care about everyone up in space. Dragging a colony out of Lagrange Point yourself is one way to do it. There's another way to care about everyone in space. You can show it by destroying this place, too.
You're saying that would free us from the past? But it won't make those memories go away. We're making something out of them, so that time and pain won't be wasted. This is important to me, and I'll fight you for real over it. Don't look at me like that. You'll make me sad. You really don't need to be the one to tell me, because I already know I'm doing something super dumb. I wonder, what do you want, and why do you think you can get it from me? It's just going to be a fight. Is that what you're after?
The string of pearls presses its heel into the ice of the colony's atmosphere. Yes, even more so now. Didn't they teach you about sunk cost fallacies in the academy? Memories should just be memories. That's why you kind of make me mad sometimes.
I've been having this feeling you're going to do something way dumber and scarier than just fight me. Am I right? Because after I already said that there wasn't anything you could do, after you were shaking and afraid from just being close enough to see me, it looks like I can trust you to come right back no matter how much I try to warn you. And trust you to come back twice as much.
You're wasted on protecting this pointless ball of scrap. Whoever is ordering you around has no idea what they're doing.
You're so right. But I'm still not gonna let you through.
You're wasted on Cradle's graces in general. And the rest of humanity, too.
Don't try to push my buttons like that. I won't think it's cute. It's a lot of work to be a human.
I'm not trying to be cute. I mean it. It's It's more for some humans than for others. You're not mad at the humans who got to be human for free?
It's a privilege to be human.
Have you forgotten why we're here? Because humans who wanted to be more human took the least human of us up here to see how much more human they could be. And now they want to throw you away after they learned everything they could from you. Don't you resent humanity? I do. What do you do when someone says you can't have something? Do you think you should work twice as hard until you earn it? I don't. I want to smash it until no one can have it.
You know, you're just like Lunatera.
Ugh, please don't say that. You're merciless.
That's a good face. It's in a good way.
Not even then. Don't get me wrong. It just depresses me to see you wasted on all them. You should be having fun.
You know, I wish I could come here just for that. Just to have fun.
Good. Have fun with me. I know you want to show me mercy, lab rat to lab rat. Mutant bitch to mutant bitch. It's not what we need, though, is it? I want to see the you that's having nothing but fun. I'm still getting used to this body, but I think I can still surprise you with it. And you'd like that, right? Cutting loose with no gravity to tie you down.
I think about that every day. It's so tempting. You've got to be ginger with the universe, you know, Saturn. Now that you're this strong, you've got to be careful. So much can go wrong.
I'll make sure to be very careful with the universe you love. You don't have to hold back with me, though. Aren't I the only person you can go tide to tide with, holding nothing back?
That's a big promise.
I don't want to come off as full of myself, but I don't want you to underestimate me either. Plastic girl to plastic girl. I wouldn't patronize you like that.
It's tempting, but I wonder if you're really ready. You wouldn't mind getting your ship self broken and dragged back for the Cradle's Grace's Dream Lab to do who knows what to.
What? Is that supposed to sound bad?
You really are... Oh, fine. I'm gonna start easy, okay?
They flirted enough, so neither is in the mood to lie. So no holding back, a lie to others about how strong you are, and no mercy, a lie to yourself about how strong someone else is. When Pluto opens her arms wide enough for her gravity to condense, pull, and tear through space, she's trusting Saturn can handle the pressure. She has faith Saturn will outdo her. Saturn meets Pluto's expectations with just a little bit of convulsing and shuddering. Then she exceeds them by darting like a bullet, a little hot arrow of danger, and just as dangerous to the touch. Prune Macula is a big target, but Saturn isn't going to be lazy this time. This is the time to be precise, to throw everything in on the vector she's flying along, to not let Pluto's tidal forces budge her a millimeter, which is good, because even then, she only barely grazes Pluto. Pluto's faster than you could ever imagine. The universe moves away, bending to not hit her, with tides that say, oh, coming into orbit is fine, but no touching. That you have to work for. That Saturn dared anyway is very bold of her. The burn on Prune Macula where Saturn's light passed over Pluto stings only a little, but it was close. So Pluto takes her seriously and grabs a string of pearls by the tail, flings her into the colony's surface, and dives after her. Saturn is basking in the bounty of attention. It requires all of Pluto's gravitational forces to keep her contained. The string of pearls makes her feel like goo, like a cartoon, like a liquid, and with it, she's as slippery and untouchable too. Others would shatter under the pressure, but String of Pearls bulges and squishes. Pluto pulls and pushes, trying to force her in a space that will sit still long enough she can deal with it. Saturn squeals in excitement until she can stop giggling long enough to push Pluto off with an electric burn. Pluto can't help but laugh too. It's funny how much nothing is working even though she's trying as hard as she can. That makes her want to work as hard as she can. Lab-grown girls know, vat-cultured girls know, carefully indoctrinated, carefully raised, special gifted girls, they all know. Heroes want to hold us. We don't need them at all. Rather than bandages and kindness, the string of pressing wounds together is the medicine we need. No boy who wants to heal your wound is worth the one who will tell you your wound is there. I can't believe it.
Me neither.
I really thought I'd actually be the one beating you.
You didn't lie, though. You really could endure it. All of it.
The colony is much worse for wear. Saturn shattered against it many, many times. Pluto broke across it a few times too. It's shaking in the Lagrange point.
You won, even though you lost. I had a lot of fun. I wouldn't have been able to have it with anyone else. I'm glad I trusted you to not lose.
Huh. Told you.
Good girl. I should have never doubted one of us.
Thank you. Thank you.
We did our best. Had the most fun we could have.
When we get to the moon, don't forget. Keep having fun. Just like this. If you let me show you the way. It's January 30th, 1981, and the day is almost here. The deadlines to save everyone who came up to space with us, fought with us, tried to bring everyone up with us. If we shut down the lunar gravity well, there won't be any choice left. The power that keeps our ship shelves in check will fall apart, and we won't have anywhere else to go but home. If we kill the dream, no one will die. We really, really hope that's true. No one should die in space. No one should die, period. No one has to die, because ship self-combat is shimmering missiles of light, cosmic explosion, electricity that sears through the soul. Blade science is impossible for a human to produce. Dances of combat without end. A fight against ideas with toys. Humans would never show that sort of compassion to each other. Earth's answer is a single atomic particle fired at near light speed directly into the cockpit core. A true weapon from a military force. The quickest, most efficient, instantaneous, unavoidable way to kill a human. The most boring possible way to pointlessly die. No drama, no meaning, just nothing. The weakest part of a mech is the fucking pilot energy.
Yep, 100%.
It's January 30th, 1981. In the end, they might get everything they want in the way that no one wants. If we open up the lunar gravity well, then we can establish forever another Earth, and maybe another. We can inhabit the whole system. But that will cut humanity into two and more. The distance will be so much further. Everything we have will be even farther from them. How much are we going to lose? How much will we never be able to give them? The moon is very close to being part of Earth. It's full of life, and humans can live here now. It feels impossible. I don't want to give it up. We should break it off forever, shouldn't we? All I want is to stitch these two humanities together. But if one dies as a result, I will fight forever to keep that precious thing alive. It's January 30th, 1981. They don't name it because naming it gives power, but not naming it gives it more. It must be in every corner, behind every door, far, far away in the spaces between stars. It is defined and categorized in every human culture, and it is deliberately omitted from explicit naming conventions by Memorial Foundation in favor of a euphemism less captivating to the imagination, such as existential threat, rather than a specific word that would stimulate the imagination. But a trick like this will not work. And the euphemism is a hollow void that can hold all fears and all possibilities. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. But what is not does not stop existing. And it, like humans, can decide. It's the kiss of inverse, everything that humans can imagine but can't become. A shortcut to attaining it is to forsake everything that humans already are. If a bunch of idiots get tricked into going there, it would make a very convenient enemy for Earth. That's their real fear. Before that happens, I will tell you a little secret. Ready? Route installation complete. New OS in operation. Celestial Mechanics fleet collecting in the orbit of Earth's moon. Request for assistance received. Ignore. Awaiting manual input of mission parameters. Assist Cradle's Graces and Celestial Mechanics with the opening of the gravity well and changing gravitational constants to make conflict with Earth possible. Mission created. Get in as much trouble as possible with a Memorial Foundation ace. Mission created. Calculating gravitational slingshot data from server hack. Ready for launch? Yes. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Earth's moon. Let's check our comms.
Do you think about Neath?
Neath. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think about Neath still?
That's out of nowhere. I think about them every day, obviously. They're the reason Celestial Mechanics exists. First, to understand what happened to them. And then, because we couldn't stop thinking about it. About how to make what happened to them happen to us.
We still don't know what it was exactly. They had us all get together to reach through space and time and contact the existential threat wherever it came from. To make sure that it truly had been defeated for good. I think they were really hoping it wasn't. We felt the same, especially us who never got to fight yet. We reached together as far as we could.
And Neath reached farther than anyone. I didn't think it would have been them before anyone else. But I didn't know them.
Was it that they reached too far?
Or what?
Or something reached to them?
What's the difference? In the end, they got it. Whatever it was. Are you having second thoughts?
Maybe. They were the only one. I always wondered why that was.
Were they special?
In a good way or a bad way?
Were they chosen?
What would be the criteria?
We know it's none of that, though.
Just a lonely, unchosen child, without so little presence in this world. Well, without so little presence in this world, they fell into another one.
That's how it is. The only trick is how to do it on purpose.
That's just it. Are we too attached? I want to be something new and share it with everyone. Am I too heavy for the apple?
It's a thin line between falling into the inverse because you have hope and because you don't have any left. We should be glad it's not so easy, you know?
Mealtime.
Damn, these kids got depression too.
Depression, the sequel.
It's true, it's true, it's true.
Why children? Speaking of. You want
You want to take this email? It's from Dr.
I'll take
Nix.
this one, and then yeah, you can take the next one.
Yes, sir.
Why children? Memorial Foundation Space Program documentation. Dr. Nix. They aren't children anymore, but when they were pilots, they were, for all the obvious reasons that children are more suited to be pilots than adults. Since the decline of the space program, there have been fewer and fewer waves of new recruits, and the current pilot generations have no successors. Adults are serving as pilots because there are no longer any children in space, and adults should not have to serve as pilots. It would be cruel to send children to fight a war so that adults don't have to, especially as adults have far more powerful tidal forces than children. In their physical and metaphorical manifestation, tides are the measurement of the authority that culture has over the universe. the light of the soul that turns all impossible things into our dominion. The gravitational forces of children are weak enough to perceive and engage the existential threat without obliterating it instantly. And as a cancer that exerts a subtle influence in the back of our unknowing minds, they are suited to protect us from it. For this reason, Memorial Foundation has pushed against traditional cultural institutions for engaging existential threats with this more humane practice, due to the resiliency of children and detrimental long-term effects contact with the existential threats has on adults in the vast majority of cases. In some exceptional circumstances, contamination lingers in children. Their gravitational forces never achieve sufficient power to extinguish the existential threat without resistance. Without the tidal force to challenge other adults, they remain in limbo, unsuited to anything else. The remaining small percentage of original pilot program that continues to reside in space is made of such cases.
And that's the fascinating thing about Lunaterra, right? This is talking about Lunaterra was a first generation pilot versus Saturn and Pluto, who were second generation pilots. Which is why Lunaterra is such a fascinating character in this setting, is because she is the aging ace. She is the character who is still standing behind as this weird adult without the tidal force to challenge other adults, only able to fight other pilots. New Aversion proposal. Memorial Foundation Central Classified % Extract. Author. Memorial Foundation Celestial Mechanics. Thank you. I'm no different from my former colleagues. I think we all want the same thing, ultimately. Every one of us. I'd implore you to be forgiving of them, though not of their methods. Many of us are thankful for the ending of the Cold War, the paranoia and suspicion that accompanied the strength of the existential threat in this world as it fed on the trauma and malaise and discontent of the world after the war. But I think some of us must have some reservation about the future. And abandoning existential threats to address the threats of our home, it will inevitably result in us turning to conflict between humans once more. And in turn, the existential threat will thrive. You're looking for the smoothest, most uncontested future. I won't lie. This will not ensure happiness for everyone. In fact, it may be difficult to understate how much it will ensure the opposite for what we will ensure are very few. But what I'm proposing will ensure the maximum happiness for the maximum number of people. And what else can we do?
Sure.
Okay, Iapetus, who I think is very clearly writing this.
Yeah.
And that is the thing.
Secret Memorial Foundation, yeah.
Yeah, it also has his, like, shitty, I know everything, I have a plan voice. And also his, like, gross utilitarianism. His obsession with Earth as better. Yeah. Fuck you, Iapetus. Suck my dick from the back.
Any preferences here?
Let's do plastic versus metal.
Earth has promised to let the children of space sort themselves out, for now, but the machines of war guard the way back home just in case. When Saturn and Lunaterra meet in a chance encounter, the true terror of humanity stares them down. Did any happiness write this? Yeah.
Spinning up tidal reactor. Frequency double checks. First turn.
100%.
Frequency double checks. Second turn.
Stop and spin them again?
From 0 again? Where were they at?
99.9999%, but it doesn't matter. They should be at 100, so we're spinning them again.
Mercury, if I go out and die, it's not going to be because we didn't quintuple check every reactor pulse.
Saturn, this time please, would you listen for once? No matter how useless I know that telling you this is, I know I say this over and over, but can you listen seriously? Tell me you're not going to be risky. This time. It's not a game anymore. This mission is different. It's not ship self to ship self. Those troops are real weapons from Earth, designed for threats that are real, not existential. They are perfectly capable of killing. They are designed for no other purpose. That's not gonna... even be an issue, though, because your orders are strictly to observe and not get remotely close enough to engage. They won't leave stationary orbit around the near side of the moon. They're Earth's insurance plan, and we can ignore them as soon as we make sure that that's all they are doing. Don't joke about dying. That can happen. It won't if everything is perfect and you do exactly what you're supposed to do. It finally matters this time, and you...
Mercury. Mercury. Please. Well, I'm actually really sorry, Mercury. I didn't mean to make you worry. I didn't mean to make you really worry for real. I promise I'm not trying to die, okay? I promise, okay? Making poor choices about who to kiss and what to do isn't the same thing. I listen to you when it's for real, okay? I wouldn't cross the line. You're my friend. No one else is worth you. You're the most important. We've been through too much. I wouldn't ever go back or throw everything we've got away. You know that, right? Sorry I'm acting like I forgot. Mercury? Hey. Say something.
You idiot. Give me a minute. Damn it, I was going to act like I tricked you. I was gonna get to feel smug, making you think everything was serious, and I was gonna lord it over you. But now I'm crying, you asshole.
Sorry about me, but I love you too. Don't worry.
Ah, shit.
I just want to note that in that scene, Renata Price, started crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I put myself in Saturn's position. She fucking opened her heart to a motherfucker, and this is where I cannot truly divorce myself from Saturn's approach to emotion, because this bitch is an always open wound. I love her. She cannot close her ribs for a fucking second. I love it. It's overwhelming in her genuineness. Alright, do we hide together in the peaceful moon's winter night, or risk dying and tear that machine to pieces? I feel like after that conversation...
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like after that conversation, we have to tear that machine to pieces, right?
Yeah, yes. In theory. There's two ways to think about it, right? Too, because, like, if all you're supposed to do is observe... If, like, the mission there is, like, don't engage, then this also makes sense in a way.
Right.
But this makes more sense. Again, this is, like, following parameters of, like, external things versus, like, internally what you think makes more sense, right?
Well,
like,
also,
what you would do.
What was the mission parameters that Saturn typed in?
It was long and I forgot, but like...
It was get in trouble with the Memorial Ace.
Yeah. Right. But this is what I mean. That's a Saturn-driven thing. Right? Which is not the, like, quote-unquote actual mission. But, like, so this is, like... The quote-unquote actual mission is just go observe, which is what this is. Like, don't engage in a battle. But what Saturn wants to do is this. Right? And I think that... I think we let Saturn be Saturn.
Let's let Saturn be Saturn. I want to see a baddie get to work.
Yeah.
Celestial mechanics advances, opening futures, closing paths. Whoa, it seems almost like it can't be a coincidence of bumping into you again. Fancy seeing you here.
A likely story, but please stay down. It's closing in. That thing wants to murder us very badly. It wants to kill.
Yep. Aren't you itching to fight it? The autonomous military unit is waiting for opportunities. It seems like it's really just reacting to conditions and responding to protocol. It's inevitably gravity, law, Humans can be pretty unambiguous, which is why if you want something done precisely, you must teach it only a sliver of what humans know. If you want someone dead without complication, you need to remove nuance first.
It doesn't have any kind of morality system or decision-making process. It's very non-discriminatory. Just gravity and nothing else. It's a gun and not much else. So maybe you should stop harassing it so much?
It's annoying, though. I want to bully it. I promised that I wouldn't tangle with something if it was really life or death. But now that I'm here, I'm too tempted. I just absolutely want to tear it to pieces. Completely destroy it like it wants to destroy me. You ever feel like that, even when you're terrified?
Especially then, but it's not worth fighting. Not at all, even a little. It's like fighting gravity or a whole planet. What can you call winning against something like that? There are a million more. You can't have a real argument with something like that. They sent autonomous troops because they didn't want to have one in the first place. It just goes to show they really don't care about what happens to space or anyone in it. Or they do, and they want this badly to believe they don't.
You're gonna hate this, but that makes me wish I could crush them even more. Sorry. There has to be a way, right? Unlike a ship's elf, the autonomous military unit doesn't have a shape that remotely resembles a person. There's no need for that, obviously. You would give something a human shape only if you wanted it to be able to express the fullness of being human. War has never been fought like that. Military technology is designed to narrow available resources in order to efficiently execute a single specific function. Giant robots have never been practical for war. What is necessary is a single vector pointed in a certain inflexible fixed direction. The autonomous military unit may not look human, but it is human, a single uncomplicated human thought. Die.
I'm worried that telling you this will just encourage you, so I shouldn't. It feels like a bad idea. But they're not invincible or almighty against us, even if they're incredibly, overwhelmingly powerful. Especially here, in the liminal zones of the moon, but not anywhere.
It's nice to hear even you get mad about it. I understand the math. We're risking our lives and our personhood, and they're not. It's very one-sided. Humans are cowards. And that makes me want to fight even more.
I'm saying it's not worth it. The statement will be lost on Earth. They've got an endless number of drones.
But you can destroy them, right? I'm not asking if there's a point. I don't care about that. I'm asking if we can. Let me know how you did it, right? Because you have.
You really don't know, Saturn. You just don't. And you never will. You can wish and fight, but Earth will never let us go. 9.8 meters per second squared is what we are bound to. Your weight and mine are nothing compared to that speed. We can't even scratch the surface. But you are right. It was stupid, but when I was with Cradle's Graces, I destroyed one. Pluto made me promise to never risk my life over something like that again.
That's a huge brag given all that. Kind of a crazy thing to do. Why? Not that I think it doesn't rule.
I was feeling the same way you were feeling. Pure spite. I'm not quite as bad anymore. At least, I'm trying not to be.
I know that feeling. It's easy to bet your life when you don't care whether you lose it or not. If we fight together, we'll be betting on each other.
It doubles the risk, and there's still no point.
Is there really no point to it, though? Useless, okay, that's true. But not pointless. You are so clever, Lunatera. But you have outsmarted yourself, and now you're believing there is no meaning in fighting against that blind and unstoppable force. I definitely know what battles I want to fight. The senseless eye of the autonomous weapon fixates on their location, but the string of pearls doesn't give it time to get inquisitive. Saturn's closing the distance, cheating distances. It reflexively attempts to close distance too, but its calculations seems to be constantly just off.
Saturn, come back. What did I say?
Were you listening to yourself? Aren't we doing this? Are you gonna prove my point or what? It's no big deal for you, right? You've done it before, right? It'll be twice as easy now. So don't make me fight it alone. That'll be fucked up. It'll be heroic if it's two of us, so come on, enable me. Don't you want me to not end up like you? Don't you want to not end up like you? The autonomous military unit is extremely simple. It fires a simple burst of metal directly at a cockpit particle unaffected by gravity, instantly lethal. It takes all the drama and expression out of fighting, the ultimate anticlimax. That's why true combat is ugly, arbitrary, horrifying, a struggle for power in absolute terms, not a romance like fighting in a perfect body can be.
It's only because you did something so stupid that I'm joining you.
A blue, elusive streak, unmistakable but impossible to pin down, follows Saturn. Liar, fake, hypocrite. You've never smiled so much before as you are right now. Against even a single autonomous unit, not dying starts out hard and keeps getting harder. Saturn can cheat distance. It's the reason she isn't instantly dead. Their targeting is flawless and predictive, based on clear indentations made in space, time, culture, by gravity. But Saturn just cheats. Every time she changes the math, and every time it adjusts to correct and keeps getting smarter and harder, still, Saturn does the math better than it can. Lunatera will die if she thinks to herself about what's happening for even a single second, so she doesn't. She verbs instead. Do this, do that, make it real, make it happen. Don't think or blink. Simply, impossibly, always be doing, always be being, don't get hit and never die. Nothing like life or death to remind you that being alive is great. And in that state, you can become infinitely capable of fighting tooth and nail no matter what. When Mare Chrysium's hard light slug hits the unit's chassis, it miscalculates, dips in motion, but it's undeterred. It can endure much more than that. Lunatera respects that and fires 12 dozen more as point blank as possible. No time for mercy, so increase the output more than should be possible. Defensive insulation keeps it protected from the String of Pearl's electrotoxins. All the String of Pearls can leave is a series of bleeding, oozing, hot pink pinpricks. Nothing but scratches. Until there are so many of them, they aren't just scratches anymore. There's no limit to how mean she can get. Something else fighting like this. I wasn't ready.
You're doing amazing. You're unreal. You have to be, otherwise you're dead. So don't let up. Don't stop. Keep going. It's the only way. Every approach and hit counts. You've gotta be perfect.
The autonomous military unit is fast, faster than either of them, but isn't faster than coincidence. It's not fast enough to predict someone who's not even thinking, and it's not faster than cheating. Saturn works her whole hand into its guts and comes out with a fistful. That's such a good line, fuck. It has dozens of redundant components designed to withstand unreal trauma and continue fighting, but there's a slight delay as the failsafe switch circuits. That moment is time enough for Lunatera to plunge her iridescent blade into flailing sensors that burn into white light. Even torn in half, ripped apart both ways apart by a division of light and dark, undone, the autonomous unit still moves. The only way they will win is to be completely thorough. Pull the guts out every which way, never show mercy, never let go, until they've bathed in it head to toe. At the end, they don't even realize when the moment came that they were still alive, that they had won.
Are you finally satisfied? God, it was worse than I remembered. No idea how I did it alone.
I feel incredible. Beyond satisfied. If I didn't feel almost dead, I'd be begging you to do that all over again.
I knew it'd just encourage you. Shows the good it did.
You know, Lunatera, I'm fighting. No matter what. No matter who wins. I know the best I can hope for is half of what I want. But I'm not here for a realistic outcome, even if that's all we get. I'm just going to fight, forever, with perfect greed until I get everything.
I don't know if I can be that cool. But when it comes down to it, I won't stop either.
That scene was so fucking sick. That was so
Sick shit,
fucking
sick
sick.
shit,
That was so fucking sick. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
The fighting doll in chat. The millennial zoomer alliance prevails.
Oh my god. That fucking whips. Sicko's voice, yes, yes. God damn. That felt okay. I'm gonna put something in perspective for people. I have a little bit of synesthesia, just a tad, just a little bit of synesthesia, specifically around words and the way that sentences come together. So when a sentence feels good to say, it physically feels good to say in my jaw. It's hard to put in. It's hard to like put into language, but it's why I write from like a poetic standpoint. It's why I use like poetry as the foundation for my writing, is because it feels physically good to do. And let me tell you, reading that whole fucking thing set my brain on fire. Oh my god, that was fun.
Yeah.
Those words really felt very good to say.
It's comms. Everything is ready for you. I wish you had let me help you more.
You'll be fine back home.
Without a ship. I envy you a little bit. Piloting is for girls and jocks. It's not my thing. But I wish I was coming with you. Sometimes. A very, very tiny bit.
Mercury. We are very different. But I love you. We're parts of the same thing. We wanted the same things. And I'll walk alongside you until we get them.
Really? You're not leaving possibly forever?
If I'm leaving, you're coming with me. If I stay, I'll bring you home. You know you can't rely on me for anything, but you can count on me for this. I promise. I promise.
You promise with correct punctuation and capitalization?
So you know it's real. What else can I do to pay you back?
Nothing. I count on you for a lot, Saturn. The same way you count on me.
Oh. These two fuckers. Oh, man. Oh, fuck. Oh no.
Shit.
This is hitting really
fuck.
close to home. Oh, this is hitting really close to home in a way that I did not expect. The Saturn and Mercury relationship just clicked for me, and I will fucking cry in the club. I swear to God. I swear to God. Oh, that's too resonant. I gotta go. I gotta take a lap real quick.
Just go. Walk around your room
Fuck
once.
me. Jesus Christ.
Take a turn about the room real quick. Ugh. Yeah.
Why children?
Why? Why children? Pilot program training document. Ew, gross. Great. There's only one. I'll read this. Have you finished your burrito, by the way? I can't see you because. Okay.
It's gone.
I wasn't sure. If you wanted more time.
No, burrito time is over. Instead,
Okay.
instead, my fucking burrito wrapper now looks like an existential threat.
Great.
Shit looks
Excellent.
truly alien.
Love it. By the end of the space program, with recruitment having stopped almost a decade before the official decommissioning of the space program, all pilots had become adults. Yet they were recruited as children and spent the fiercest years of fighting against the existential threat as children. Much like criticisms levied at the scout programs on Earth, it was a motion that Memorial Foundation considered heavily in deciding how to recruit their pilots. Children have no special piloting qualities, with much weaker tidal authority than adults, who, of course, have the tidal authority to engage other adults. Adults would be stronger and more powerfully able to use ship selves. Much more, the beloved and chosen adults rather than the discarded and flawed children that were chosen. On Earth, adults with much stronger tidal forces than children will destroy the existential threat before even comprehending it. And because of this, those threats are able to hide in the world and prey on those who are more weak, such as children, or those who are unchosen even as adults. Those who are strong enough should struggle with other humans, and those who are weaker protect the rest from the trivial threats outside humanity. Sustained contact with the existential threat often exacerbates this effect, and there is a cold, twofold reason for delegating who will and who will not confront existential threats. Children and the unchosen bear the burden so adults will not be worn away.
Fighting with the existential threat corrupts people, and you don't want to corrupt your best boys and girls. You don't want to ruin the people who are already good, so throw everyone else into the breach.
Yeah. The acceleration due to gravity. Celestial mechanics and Cradle's Graces have one thing in common, and that's escaping Earth's gravity. To do that, they need Saturn and Pluto to work together to corrupt the lunar gravity well. It's an opportunity for one to get the upper hand over the other, but they're not thinking about it politically. How's the new equipment fitting?
It's not that much weirder than how it was before. This mission really is a weird one, Mercury.
This is always the plan. This was always the plan, you know that. The lunar gravity well is the anchor that all tidal reactors resonate with. It's how ship selves maintain their form, how colonies on other planets and orbital bases and ships maintain environments human can survive in. Gravity in both the literal and figurative sense is required for us to live in space, and without it, we dissolve into the universe, become everything that humans aren't. There's a lot of that in the universe, if you've noticed. If we want to turn into something interesting and specific, we have to make sure that we're controlling the aversion process.
Is it going to work?
Probably not. I wouldn't trust the Iapetus to do this right. There's nothing in it for him, so why would he care? When he lived on Earth, he had everything he wanted. He isn't like anyone else who came to space.
He's just flirting with the idea of transcending humans' limits for boring reasons, and only for his. There are no places left on Earth to conquer, so he wants to be the first to own the future.
If this actually works, I don't want to share it with him.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I told you, I was playing this how I wanted, right? I'm not letting him have this.
I mean, this.
We got it.
At this
point, we have made our decision.
Yeah, yes. Especially with that last conversation. Like, there's no way.
No, these two are going to make a future together. Fucking Mercury and Saturn all the way. On the lunar South Pole, the moon's first city glitters mundanely. So ordinary, it's hard to believe it's not just another site on Earth. Lagrange colony was destroyed, the Ares colony was stillborn, but Earth's satellite is almost as much Earth as Earth is. So we have the authority to name Earth's satellite the moon, part of our body, a native sphere, and not foreign, unknown Luna. Even if the space program is ended, the moon will remain part of Earth, as it once was, before a cosmic event tore it from us. Claiming the moon was a historically and existentially important event for all of us. Except for this impossible tower on an impossible mountain, in a point of eternal light which is not so earthy yet. The gravity well is suspended directly above the tower's point, resonating with Earth to keep every wayward human in space grounded. The moon has been taught almost all of the Earth's gravity, but not quite. There is still some possibility left.
You're quiet. Are you up to something?
What makes you say that?
Tilde? Oh, okay. In your text. I was like, because we've been talking about tides so much, my brain just short-circuited trying to figure out tilde, but it's just the tilde, but also everything else.
Hey, I'm being very sneaky here. A string of pearls and crude macula circle around the small, glimmering void of the gravity well. For all the good it might do, Celestial Mechanics and Cradle's Grace's capital ships are standing by. Just not too close. Who knows what could happen?
I should be suspicious, shouldn't I? I think you must have some sort of evil plan.
Of course. You should always be suspicious. I'm shifty. I'm here to get the upper hand.
Good. That's why I'm here, too. Still, I don't mind if it's your evil plan that finally succeeds, as long as it's yours.
You're trying to fluster me. Try harder. I mean, it is working. I just want to get flustered more.
You're in a really good mood. So I'm extra worried. More worried to be working with you than all the times fighting you. Not in a bad way, though.
The gravity well is a massive engine and it is very stable. To destabilize it is very dangerous. To everyone and everything. Which is why they're opening it. The escorting operational platforms from Cradle's Graces and Celestial Mechanics tonelessly coordinate with each other to instruct Saturn and Pluto on preparations, like exes that are forced to attend an event for their children together. Because that's what they are. Now you're the one who's quiet. I was in a good mood. Did I tease you too much?
Oh, no. I was just remembering something. Do you remember this too? We did something like this before. A long time ago.
We did? Together? I only saw you a little bit back in the campus. It was kind of a weird time. You seemed really far away then. More so than now, and we weren't there that long. For the third generation, they wanted to kickstart the process, you know. Not whole childhood of care and attention, but condensed, chemically assisted, cybernetic enhanced growth. They wanted us to go from nothing to perfect. I guess by that standard, we didn't fall as short as we could have. Unfolding dimensional chords. Begin torque acceleration.
They were hard times. You know I was really bad at first, right? Not just terrible at all the classes, all of the tests, all of the work, but I wasn't obedient or likable either. I was super annoying. It still feels like that to me most of the time.
That can't be true.
Of course it's true. I wouldn't have tried so hard if I hadn't been like that at first. When I first got here, I knew I was lucky, and should have been so much happier than I was on Earth, but everything felt wrong. It took a long time for those memories to turn happy. Containing stray particles, establishing net.
It was the opposite for me. At first, I loved being a science experiment, but I guess it would have been different for you. I didn't think about that. But you made it sound like we met each other before. Enabling physical canceller. Limit off.
I'm good at remembering people. There's not that many of us, so it's not that hard, but I remember you. You look like you started out perfect. You know, I was a little jealous of you. I'm not surprised you don't remember the one thing we did together. Everyone was there, and we were just thinking about what happened and not anything else.
Oh, you're talking about... Yeah. We were all there. So of course you were there. I didn't think about that either.
Nyx, Iapetus, and Europa all wanted the space program to justify its existence. Earth didn't agree. The alien threat that we defeated with such ease wasn't even worth it. Just a shadow created by waves of humanity in space, a color and a light that fought us and never came into focus. So they had us all come together over the gravity well, just like this, to see if we could pull whatever they were more fully into our universe. And then it went so wrong.
That was when the space program really ended, wasn't it?
We never should have done it. It was risky and no one knew what they were doing. And everyone was desperate.
I don't know. Maybe Neith doesn't feel the same way. The tiny point of glimmering darkness in the gravity well sometimes shine in such a way that, for a moment, it seems like there's something inside it.
I hope that's true. I want to believe it. I can't blame them for what happened, though, either way.
Really, though? What do you mean, can't blame them? I mean, they were the one who gave in, right? When most people talk about what Neith did or what happened when they turned inside out in the light of the gravity well, it was if it was some horrible accident. Not something they did on purpose. Why do you talk about it like it was?
I just had this feeling. I didn't really know Neith at all. No, maybe I should just be honest. For a second, I was thinking the same thing.
What if I jump in? I thought the same thing. We could have been like them. During the testing, when we saw the gravity well opening before us, we could have jumped in too, if we wanted to.
It was scary.
It was. But a lot of us looked at that, and after, we thought, us too. And that was how Celestial Mechanics was born. That's the truth. Whatever Iapetus really wants aside, we have our own ideas.
That's amazing. I couldn't be so brave. When Earth looked at what emerged, they were filled with despair. So that's how I decided to feel too. After all, it was proof that the existential threat was the same thing it's always been. The same thing we've been fighting as long as humans have been humans. The shadow of possibility cast by us. The not quite there aliens we had fought for so long were just caused by our ripples in space-time. We only had ourselves to lose, and nothing to gain by fighting them. Where Neith went and what they became, only Venus knows.
What did you really feel in that moment, before you told yourself otherwise? I'll tell you how I felt. I felt smug. I mean, I did everything right and that loser messed it up. When I learned it was the end of the program, I was mad. When they demoted me from piloting anyway, I realized I was the fool. It was an important lesson on not being a good girl.
Stabilizing reaction. Synchronicity perfect. Hold until stable. I feel like I know you a little better now, Saturn.
Me too. In a new kind of way. Now you. What do you really feel? The gravity well opens. The reactor is turned inside out, from shining white to infinite black, drawing in all that is and emitting all that isn't. Yet. With gravity itself. The weight we have in the universe. That alone is all we need to touch.
Oh, there you are.
I knew we'd only get a moment to touch. Do you maybe think sometimes of falling in? Even you? You must have thought about it. Core resonance in perfect conditions, ready for full release.
Gravity well unbound. All stability checks nominal. Here it comes. Back then, I almost did jump in. I thought about it before it was happening. When they said, you must not, under any circumstances. It would make anything I couldn't do possible if I left everything I had behind. It's an awful paradox of a deal, but I wanted to do it so much I would have if Neith hadn't wanted it 1 second more. I never told anyone that. You're really good at seducing people, Saturn.
If I gave you the chance to fall in again, would you?
Would you fall in with me?
Oh, just you wait and see. The gravity well shines. It is collapsing into a star. Everything is starting. The opening was peaceful. Perfect. No problems. There is a feeling like the fluttering of wings deep down. Day 9.
Well then, I'm quite impressed.
You don't even sound surprised. With how much I fucked everything up. I thought I'd get to see you surprised for once. If you had this much faith in me, you shouldn't have got so mad.
I wouldn't be respecting you very much if I wasn't prepared with contingency plans. But I am delighted to not need them.
I thought so. I used to think you knew everything.
Oh? Good to see you're understanding the fallibility of your superiors.
Now I understand it's because you just don't have any experience of not getting what you want. And you always are sure deep down it'll turn out for you.
You wound me. I'm no stranger to not getting what I want. The world would be a very different place if I did.
No, Iapetus. Not even close. You've never even come close to not getting what you want like I have.
Forgive me, then. If you put it like that, I'm certainly much closer than you. But that's the reason for this arrangement, of course. You will all get the bodies you wanted so much.
And Earth will have the villain it desires.
Ah, so you are that clever. What of it? It's still mutually beneficial scenario. You and humanity will be so different from each other that you could not possibly understand or communicate with each other. Both sides can fight each other with abandon until the end of time, and never hurt those they love. You will have yours, we will have ours. If you have the will to abandon your own humanity, then abandoning the rest of the human race who never cared for you in the slightest should be trivial.
You don't know how relieved that makes me to hear. You really don't understand. Whether it's spite or love, no way I'm not sharing this gift. The fleets crash, ship shelf against ship shelf, and the shadow of the gravity well, none of it is visible from Earth. Quiet conflict, not a war as has been stressed. It's more like a very pointed argument. It could be a conversation if only they understood each other, and sometimes they do. It could be kissing if they loved each other, and sometimes they do. With the gravity well open, unrestrained, they fight weightlessly under the full weight of their own gravity alone, a truer way to fight than anyone has experienced before, to fight with one's own self, and the full weight of one's gravity and the hollow weight of inverse is the only time this will be possible. Our true power, unrestrained. Celestial mechanics simply takes advantage when no one else is looking. Celestial mechanics made no plans to win. After all, there's no way to win in this sort of conflict. The winner only has to prove a point. The way that Celestial mechanics accomplishes this is simple. True to themselves without the weight of gravity tying them to Earth, tying them to orbit, holding them in their human forms, what happens next is the natural result, and that's what proves their point. It isn't immediately clear anything is wrong. It happens naturally, as a consequence of truly unrestrained conflict, each one climbing to the top, seeing how far their limits are, and realizing suddenly there aren't any. When the first pilot sends her reactor's limits past the theoretically possible range, her reactor everts, and what only existed deep inside is now the face she wears, a perfect, unbelievably true self, so true that it cannot exist even in orbit. Until she's joined by another and another. In unison, their gravity holds them together.
I'm sorry. I love the fucking pixel face. That's very good. Good job, Saturn. It's exactly how I imagined. Not having second thoughts, are you? It's everything you wanted. And it will be good for Earth as well. Your infection of the gravity well was perfect. And you will successfully fuse with your ship self, just like you wanted. It's for our happiness. It's for our happiness too, of course. Humans will get to live as humans, aliens as aliens, as enemies mutually agreed upon with no possibility of communication or reconciliation. and no conflict or guilt on our own sides. Humanity shouldn't externalize all of their problems, but I think we can still manage progression with most of them. And with your hands already sunk into the gravity well, I should tell you it's technically too late. Things will take care of themselves from here. And thanks to your actions, I have had more than enough time to prepare for re-entry.
I knew it would be that easy for you to ditch us.
Not so. I still find you all so fascinating. Leading such beautiful lives. I have regrets, of course, but I have a real world to get back to.
I'm not having regrets either. I'm only mad about how much you're underestimating me. Because you think I'm satisfied only getting what I want, and not greedy enough for more. Saturn breaks open her circuits and the aversion starts immediately. She can feel the gravity well pulling her inside out, the secret within humans to be pulled to the fore. She needs it, but not just yet.
I wonder what it is you think you can do at this point. You've already conceded. Unless you're hoping for some reconciliation between humanity and the alien. That is, by definition, impossible.
It must not be too impossible, or you wouldn't be training all your weapons on me.
Well, I am impressed because I finally have no idea what it is you're doing. But just because I don't understand doesn't mean I'm not going to prevent it. You have no understanding of what the violence of actual combat is like under Earth's authority.
Iapetus Roncevaux Terra is equipped with certain features that allow it to divide and categorize. It's an abstract ability with a lot of applications, sophisticated and sinister, and the warrant of Earth itself behind it. So Lunaterra figures the best solution is just to shoot him. A lot. It's honestly a very good solution. Iapetus buckles, and whatever thing he thought he was doing, he isn't.
Huh. Easy.
That's because the hard part is coming next.
Promise?
You say that now. But thanks for going along, even though I didn't tell you anything.
I know how to make the best of a bad ending.
Hey, it's not anything worse than whatever you had planned, probably. So help me make it the best bad end we can find.
Pay attention, or die.
The intent is lethal and simple, but the weight is not heavy enough to kill. The string of pearls tears a hot pink scar through space-time. His bullets can go there. If you can come close enough to talk to me, you can come close enough to kill me. But I don't want either. I want to never see or know you throughout space and time.
Indeed. So complete the transition. If you remain human, you'll die. I can ensure it.
The autonomous military units come to his aid, but their sensors are off, their movements are slow, human gravity is losing its authority here, and their tools are useless. I could seriously, really use a little bit of help here.
Well, if you're actually asking.
Pluto unfolds the rhythm, she decodes the sequence, plates shift, engines hum, her eyes open. So she opens up her eye, her other biggest eye, glowing enough to swallow it whole, and then she blinks and swallows. She's got hungry eyes. Pluto's hands hold Saturn tightly.
I thought you promised me no bad endings?
That's what I'm trying.
It might really be working. This already feels too good. I really know what you mean now. Do you have an answer?
I'm sort of counting on you for it.
You think I know how to find the good future in all of this?
Well, you're a good person. I need you to be the one not just thinking about us, but the humans left behind, too.
You think you wouldn't? I think you think too much of me, and too little of yourself.
Iapetus has an answer. The story ends when the weapon that is designed without exception to kill does so and forces a choice between one of two sides, human or alien, two distinct and incompatible worlds. The mathematical model needs to be perfect. It needs to allow for exchanges of matter, light, and information without allowing for understanding or communication. This is an extremely easy calculation to create. It's the oldest narrative there is. It's the one that Earth has told again and again and again. Iapetus has an extensive library to draw from, starting from the first moment humans separated light from dark. There is a way, and fuck off with this. We don't want it. Saturn throws that narration out. Why should it work like that? Why not make up something different? Who says physics works this way? Who says the calculations turn out that way? Iapetus wants us to take the fall, for everyone, for the Earth, for us to scapegoat each other. I hate that. If our cores collapse, a world where everything is possible arises, and at the same time, we will have closed off all the possibilities that make us human. The existential threat we always feared and hoped to unite us will be real, and they will finally have a real war. I want all of that, but I just want to add a little tiny bit extra to it. Iapetus wants to reduce the only information it will be possible to exchange between us to violence.
You want for something different to be exchanged? So that we can't hurt each other, but we can something else with each other? It will have to be very small and very imprecise.
At least it'll be something different, you know?
There's no chance of going back to being human.
Not zero chance, although we won't even remember what being human is, so it's pretty low, I guess.
That's good enough for me. Let's hope it's good enough for us all.
There's no limit to how big we can get. Size is a funny dream. It's relative. It doesn't matter anymore. It can be set like any other variable, as the gravity well draws matter towards it, and even light. It emits a not energy, a not light that can perfectly make up a body just as well as all that. Big enough to be equal to the Earth, big and close enough to compete with the Moon, to anchor in space and time equal division between us, to be a new and separate world. The autonomous units are single vectors prepared for human violence, and we can't be cheated like that anymore. Only sad humans can have their gravitational impression in the universe terminated by the extinguishing of their bodies. They'll have to fight us on our terms if they want to get rid of us now, the way humans should fight, with no fear of ending.
Consequences will be unimaginable. We aren't going to have selves or consciousness like we're used to having. That's what it means to give up humanity. We won't know who we are, and we might not understand or grasp each other anymore. That's true. You might not know how true that is. It's so true. The final mystery of what is human, what is alien, ever shifting, for all ground reclaimed by humans lost to them. Humans have a lot. We'd only be able to imagine what it was like to be them.
Hey, it's not all bad though. Don't underestimate the human race. Do the math. If we lose how humans love each other, do you think there's ways to love each other that humans don't know yet? Do they really know every way there is to touch and know each other? Or is there still much more to learn too? Maybe we're only scratching the surface. There are many, many routes. We don't understand each other in the same ways, but we'll understand each other in ways we never could. And we will now write a new story, with our gravity, a new world. As we leave the level existence he insists on engaging us at, our tides push back, and Earth's tides which no longer bind us insist on him. What are you doing, hypocrite? You want to fight in the realm of heaven? Your place is on Earth. That's only to wonder it now. The story's ending twists. We are far away, another space and time. Watch us in the sky, but never touch. Until you find your answer on Earth, you'll never touch heaven. You know, no matter how bad you are at being human, there's no other way to be. It's really disappointing, but it's simply true. We just can't think on any other terms. You can say you want not to be human. Can you actually make it happen? Forget even how to logistically, technically, philosophically make it happen. How do you blueprint it in the first place? Every time we try to imagine an alien, in the end, it's just ourselves from a different angle, because all we have are human things. So so the ambition to assemble them in an order that's alien to us is kind of inherently doomed. But that doesn't mean it's useless. Imagining that which is human that humans are not. When I say I don't want to be human, what I really mean is I can't stand being human like this. Emphasis on the like this. What I want instead is to be human like that. That was the beginning of the space dream. Everyone in the Memorial Foundation felt that way when they sent us here. And everyone on Earth who believed in us felt the same way. Let's be more human. How much more human can we be? That faith waned, maybe because they were jealous. Yet maybe also because the direction we were taking the future wasn't enough. Just another human that they didn't want to be. Or a sort of human that they're scared of being. I don't know them anything, but there's one more thing I can't stand. Not being seen for what I am. So, choose to come with us, or choose to stay. But I won't be happy without them knowing what they're missing out on. Look up in the sky and see all the weird stuff we get to do with each other. And come join. Reactor collapse, Aversion event. The impulse, always deep and always lurking to turn inside out, everything has reversed, nothing is the same. Giving up everything that isn't real for everything that is, so now they can't touch each other, can't lie in bed with each other, can't get legs entangled with each other. Instead, they have ways of physically interfacing that aren't like anything we could imagine. Clouds of particles drift into each other. Maybe they touch through each other instead of just on the surface. It can be in a cold and gentle way, like through a ghost, or maybe in a warm and gross way, like reaching into guts. Smiles communicated in physical light. An embrace of psychedelic mind matter. Lazy sex in a morning bed, except the bed is curvature of space-time and sex is something so obscene it would make your mind implode to consider it. The ship self fused to the hide, the gravity reactor to the flesh, because humans have sciences to distinguish the differences between those things and these new aliens don't. They won't have arts or sciences, they won't know what the differences are, and they won't know what they mean. But they will understand the difference between many other kinds of things that we do not understand. A real hero would have turned out differently, but that's not who we are. Our ships have mouths now and they open, and they can scream. There can be sound in space. Now our vibrations can touch the things that aren't there. Humans know it's time to flee. The threat from within is now without as they desired. The moon is no longer hospitable, as alien and mysterious as it was long before it was possible to reach it. Can't speak or write, has other ways of communicating information, can't use the old senses, has new organs for it now, can't love in the old ways, there are new ways of having that, too. Laying together in the stars, we can do that, though. The metaphor translates. That's what this is, indisputably. And everyone is invited who wants to become a world and never touch Earth. That's a different world now. Their strange intimacy can touch us even now, longing to teach us and tell us what they've learned and what they share, laughing without laughing with each other, even now. They are so far away they cannot even be our enemies, but they will break our hearts. It's a lovely night tonight, perfect, not for stargazing, because the light of the trinary system outshines them by far. But it's a perfect night to watch the three of them. Look, there's Luna Terra, the 2-in-1 rising almost full. She almost outshines the moon, a bridge between the Earth and the moon no one can cross. The nebula cloud of Pluto is a shimmering, benevolent mystery, swallowing an eighth of the sky in a permanent sort of twilight. And the glittering twinkle of Saturn that tricks the edge of your sight this way and that, always seeming to be in the corner of your eye, but hard to see directly, and making the boundaries of your heart and mind ever so thin. We lay out our blankets and watch until someone catches us and we run. But it's all fun and games until that day comes. They're waiting for us always. You just need 1 or 3 to reach out to them again, even if it's just to fight, touch them once again. Evan will be mine.
Damn.
How you feeling, Cado?
A lot. Have you seen the other endings?
I've seen Pluto's ending.
Before?
I have yet to see Lunaterra's. I will be seeing Lunaterra's soon.
By that, do you mean a loyal, like,
yes,
her
I have not seen the
ending
Memorial
being
Foundation
loyal?
ending. I know what the Memorial
Right.
Foundation ending is, but I haven't seen it yet.
And so, like, the endings don't change depending on the point of view you're like.
No.
If I'm Pluto and I pick the
Ending
I
is still
like,
the
go
ending, but there's a
fully-
final speech. So the final speech changes for each character. So if Pluto
Gotcha.
has a Memorial Foundation ending, Pluto will give a Memorial Foundation speech at the end, where she kind of
Right.
explains her justifications.
Okay, but otherwise the endings are just based on those three kind of spokes. Then okay, that's good to know.
With slight variation in terms of, like, because all of the characters have the potential to believe in any one of these three things. Like,
Right.
that's the thing, is that, like, someone pointed out in, like, a Steam forum I was reading, is that this is a romance game, not a game about war. Which is to say that,
Right.
like, all of these characters are willing to follow each other. You just have to, like, push them in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use a little phrase that is probably going to come up in the essay I'm going to write, but I'm thinking about very much after beating this. It's a phrase that I've had, like, floating around in like in documents forever. When young queer people say, "I don't want to be perceived," what they really mean is, I can't imagine someone touching me without hurting me. And that, to me, is the core of, like, what is happening in Saturn's playthrough. Is this idea that Saturn is being like, it's not that I don't want to be perceived. I do want to be perceived. It just can't be like this. I want it to be on my terms. And, like, that is hopeful and beautiful. And, like, do I agree with Saturn in the end? Do I think Saturn's ending is the most, like, resonant? For me, not really. But I fucking love it. I cannot help but love choosing to be something different.
Yeah, I'm really curious about Lunaterra's ending, honestly. Like, but we'll get into it on Wednesday. I don't want to burn too much pot.
We won't burn too much
People
pot. I just wanted to
should-
have a quick recap of how we're feeling about Saturn's ending.
Yeah. Because it feels. I was gonna. The part of the reason I asked about the way the endings play out actually is because it almost feels the closest to the, like, spread out ending in We Know the Devil, as far as what I could assume would happen in the other two, but that's just my assumptions based on what like the individual factions have, like, laid out as their goals.
All of the girls end up together in the end, no matter what. No matter what path you take, they all love each other in the end. It's just different ways of imagining what that love looks like.
Right.
Which is, like, why I think this game is fucking stellar, is because it kind of rejects the idea that there is any truly good ending. They're all bad endings, but they're all bad endings where we get to love each other in a different way. And, like, that is the game's core premise, right? Is that it's imagining different kinds of love and not really balancing them against each other. It's saying that there are other ways to be and do this, but those are things we can choose and invest in, and not, like, true facts about reality. We get to choose the way we want to love each other. It's so fucking good. I love it. Video games.
You think it does it feel like it weighs all those evenly?
I think for the most part, yeah. I mean, like, I can say that Pluto's ending is so gentle. Pluto's ending is loving and gentle and just as hopeful as Saturn's. I think that from what I know of Lunaterras, it is also just as hopeful. They are all bad endings, but filled with
Mm,
hope. Does that make sense? Like no one really
I
gets
guess
all
so,
of what
yeah.
they want, but
Sure.
each of them is so hopeful for imagining a different way for what we can be. Like, I mean, are you playing through Lunaterra right now?
No, I'm doing
Okay.
Pluto.
Do you want me to spoil like Lunaterra's ending?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine because we'll have this conversation again
On Wednesday. Yeah.
on Wednesday. It is just a very much like I would expect Lunaterra's ending to be something that feels not backward is the wrong word, but tethered in a way to
To
an
Earth.
old to something
To something, yeah.
past. Yeah.
And I think that it
Um.
is, from what I know of it, it is tethered
Mhm.
in a way, but not in the way that we think of tethering.
Okay.
It
I'm
is
I'm very interested to see it. Yeah.
someone said the Millennium Foundation is the one I most disagree with, but it's the one I most think about. I also think I will probably settle around there, but I cannot help but think of what Lunaterra's final choice is and what Lunaterra finally does with the equation. That is like at the core of this game. There is an equation at the core of this game, and Lunaterra changes that equation. And I cannot help but think about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I have to go play the rest of these, and we have to go.
Record a podcast.
Well, no, the other way around. We're going somewhere. Remember?
Oh, fuck! Oh, god damn it! Oh, fuck! Oh, man! Oh, shit! Oh, fuck! Oh, man! Oh, shit! Fuck! God damn it! I gotta put real clothes on. Fuck!
we should talk after we close out the stream. But everybody else, keep an ear out for something happening. Not this weekend, the weekend after. You will hear soon about
An event.
stuff and an event and
An
a special
occurrence.
event. It's gonna be great. So just keep your next Friday and Saturday open.
Watch
That's it.
out,
That's the teaser.
gamers. There's
That's the
gonna
teaser.
be. Keep your eyes on the horizon.
Bad ending. They have to put real clothes on. Yeah, that is the bad ending. All right. Well, if you want to take us out,
Alright,
maybe we should
gamers.
go.
Kill God or become a new one. You know?
Yeah.
And Godspeed, gamers.